Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Sunday, September 8th, 2024. My newest segment of Markets, A Look Ahead. We're going to talk about a lot of things here. We're really going to put this together. Now, at the end, I want to cover something that I find shocking. Also, understand, and I've covered this for I don't know how long, nothing is what it appears to be. There's something else going on here. We're going to talk about it at the end, and I want to hear from you on this because I think it's pretty big, and it may be I can't put a finger on it. That's why I need you. All right. So with that, let us move forward. So just yesterday, we heard from
Greg, it's me, Janet, and what are you gonna say? What are you gonna do?
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, Janet. We're going to talk about this headline here. Read this headline. Does this hit you the wrong way? Does this sound true to you? Yellen says U.S. economy remains solid on a path to a soft landing with no meaningful layoffs. I mean, does she really think or believe that you're that stupid? Does she actually want you to ignore the round after round after round of bad economic news it's just out of control with regard to the economy, with regard to hiring, unemployment, the 818,000 jobs that just vanished. Just none of it matters, right? Obviously, lies, deceptions. Look here, I guess. Don't look over there. Let's cover this. So, if you do subscribe to my newsletter, link in the description of this video. This is in your inbox right now, people. This stuff, in my opinion, is gold. And I'm going to ask you to read it. How does it hit you? Let me know. Greg, this sounds about right to me. No, Greg, you're way off base. Again, I am open to criticism. It's all good. I am willing to learn. So again, in your inbox right now, we're going to cover this. I'm going to do what I usually do. Read through it and add to it. But share this stuff, people. Get it out there if you believe that what I put together here is true. So let's talk about this, people. On the Threshold of Another Great Depression by Gregory Mannarino. All right, here we go. On September 18th, a couple weeks away, the Federal Reserve will officially announce that they are about to start cutting rates, while in reality, the Federal Reserve is already deeply involved in massive purchases of U.S. debt. Now, I wrote, see the chart below, MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator. Now, here's a shot that, again, I have included here. Look at this chart as I'm reading to you. Here in this chart, okay, note the upward trend, that is the black lines right here. Okay. Now this trend was broken, red arrow, circle. Do you see what I'm talking about right here? Okay, I hope you do. This was in early June, and this denotes specifically when the Federal Reserve began aggressively buying, monetizing the debt. You got that? Here we go. Let's move forward. The result of this is known as quantitative easing. I go on to say monetizing the debt is defined as when a central bank, in this case the Federal Reserve, uses newly created currency to buy bonds / treasury bills. This process is also called quantitative easing. If you notice, it's missing, it's absolutely devoid from the mainstream media, CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business. They talk about cutting rates. They even use the word easing. They do not use the word, and they will not use the word quantitative. Again, words have power. I want you to remember what I just said, that words have power. And we will conclude at the end of this because I need your help on what we're going to talk about at the end. Anyway, so the result of quantitative easing directly affects bond yields. People, we've watched a phenomenon occur. You and I have been covering it since June. We were like, look what's going on here. And now we clearly understand it. Now, this directly affects bond yields. What the Fed is doing, obviously, quantitative easing, not being called that. You're not allowed to know it. And this causes rates to drop. QE, quantitative easing, is also extremely currency purchasing power negative. Now, using an example, all right, people say, okay, Greg, where's the proof? First of all, it's charted right here. Second of all, let's move beyond the charts and see where we can figure out, or how we can tell, you and me, that the Federal Reserve is obviously involved in quantitative easing. So using today as an example, as no official announcement has yet been made by the Fed that they are already cutting rates, mortgage rates here in the United States have now dropped to a near 2-year low. Moreover, just this past week, the yield curve here in the United States just came out of its longest inversion cycle in history. We've never seen anything like it before. This is known as yield curve control. Yield curve control is a tool. You know, the tools that the Fed talks about all the time. You know, Yellowstain himself, Powell, puke, vomitous mass that he is. A tool used by central banks to manage interest rates. More specifically, to stabilize long-term interest rates like mortgages, for example, as we are seeing today. So people, it's in our face. You're not allowed to know what's going on. Full-blown, full-on quantitative easing. The Fed is in here suppressing rates artificially, and that's causing rates to drop. Quantitative easing is emergency monetary policy. Now, that's the reason, in my opinion, why you can't know. The Fed, they're not going to say they're quantitative easing. The mainstream media is not going to use the term quantitative easing. They may say cutting. They may say easing. They're not going to say quantitative easing. You understand? That's how dumbed down they think you are. Let us move forward here. Quantitative easing is only used during major economic downturns. Don't take my word for this. Look it up for yourself. As to give a temporary boost to an economy already in free fall. Not that's leading up to. So Janet's comment here is obviously completely false. Okay, we can disprove it right here that the economy remains strong and a soft landing path and no meaningful layoffs. Unless you were laid off, then it means something to you. But you see, she doesn't give a damn about you. It's about lies, distractions, deceptions, and you know what dark place all that comes from. Let us move forward, my lovely friends. Here we go. Because quantitative easing, that's what it is, involves the vast creation of new money, which is then used to buy/monetize the debt and therefore keep interest rates artificially suppressed. QE, quantitative easing, is highly destructive to the purchasing power of the currency. Therefore, QE is highly inflationary. Another reason, henceforth, why they will not use the term quantitative easing, which is in our face, and it's going on right now. Just this past week here in the United States, and this is a worldwide phenomenon, the repeated round after round after round after round of bad economic news continues. Most recently, new job hiring here in the United States just hit, are you ready for this? An historic low. We've just made history. And just 2 weeks ago, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 818,000 jobs, which they told us was just created because our economy is so strong, just vanished out of thin air. Imagine that. With factory activity in U.S. manufacturing remaining in contraction, the entire sector, the industry, is contracting. Okay? Don't take my word for this. Look it up for yourself. Okay? The U.S. trade deficit continues to hyperinflate. This has been going on all through the Biden administration, all through the Trump administration, and of course, obviously, during Obama. After 2008, this was over. This is an illusion being built on the back of trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of debt. Can buy a lot of illusion. Okay, anyway, meanwhile, they want us to believe, are you ready for this, that the U.S. unemployment rate just dropped to 4.2. People, pay attention to this next part. During the Great Depression at its peak, the unemployment rate was 24.9%. Now, if we were to use those same metrics today that they used back then, it's all been changed, okay? The unemployment rate here today would be 4 times higher than the 4.2% that they're telling us. So just do the math. Okay. So the fake numbers that the mainstream media is putting out today is nothing but propaganda. I think we're all on the same page. The fact is this. Today, we stand on the threshold of the greatest depression on a global scale. And to assure that this greatest depression does happen, you can expect that both presidential selectees here in the United States will continue to sell you the same narrative when it comes to the financial system. These presidential selectees will continue to promise you lower rates. Sound familiar? That's what you're hearing every day now. Which, of course, means an even weaker dollar. Their calls and promises of lower rates will also allow the Fed to vastly inflate and monetize the debt even more, further assuring that the Federal Reserve will attain even more power and control over all of us. Now that I read this entire thing to you, did it hit you the right way or the wrong way? I want to hear from you in the comments. Again, if you have a copy of this, read it. Read through the concepts I've covered. I would be willing to bet that most of you said, Greg, this is absolutely on target, because it is. I'm telling you the truth. I urge you to do your own research on all these things. This is propaganda, 100%. Who do you think got it right? Yellen or Greg Mannarino? You let me know. Now, a couple of other things I want to talk about. And again, please hold on to the end because I do need your help on something. Headlines like this, like I'm going to show you, is what's going to raise awareness to the people who have no idea what's going around. Read this headline right now. Veteran trader accuses the U.S. Central Bank of crime of the century. Do you know who they're talking about here? This guy, Gregory Mannarino. Absolutely. It's really a fantastic article. It talks about how the Fed is in fact doing all the things that we've been saying, including running a Ponzi scheme. Now, if you care to read this article, and I hope you do share it, I am going to put a link in the description of this video. People, this is how we raise awareness. When people see something like this, they open their eyes. This tells me, and it should tell you, that our message is getting out there. We're making a positive difference by raising awareness, by letting the people know what's going on. That is a fantastic headline, and it's 100% true. This is not propaganda. This is not a distraction, a lie, or anything else. You know that this is true. We got to let other people understand what's happening, because I'm telling you right here and right now, you and me, we're going to make history. We're going to make history. July 4th, next year, 2025, we're going to get so many people in Washington, D.C. to march on the Federal Reserve. This isn't a protest, okay? This is an awakening. This is to allow people to understand that we the people, have been assured by the U.S. Constitution that we have in place a sound money system. They've stolen this from us. It's time that we get it back. You understand? I think we're on the same page. Now, this really should be a worldwide event. And I am hoping that more and more people are going to get the word out as to what's going to happen next July 4th, 2025. If you can't make it to Washington, D.C., then make it to the nearest Federal Reserve Bank to where you live. Start, people, look, I need your help here, okay? This is our thing. If you are a lion, act like one, okay? Start organizing. Get people in your neighborhoods to do the same thing, all right? We all have access to this thing, this internet, these social media outlets. Let's raise awareness. It starts with something like this. Share this headline. This veteran trader, me, is going to lead the charge, but I need your help. I need your help, okay? I already have a lot of stuff going on in the background. We got some big YouTubers involved in this. This is going to be tremendous, okay? And again, we need your help. So organize, get these things together, march on the Federal Reserve banks wherever they are around this nation, and wherever you are around the world, march on your central bank, because they're doing the same thing. They're running a Ponzi scheme. devaluing the currency. This is a war. This is a war on us, the people of the world, and it's time to take the system back. Does this sound about right to you? Okay, now with that, people, I want to bring something to your attention. Now, nothing is what it appears to be. Now, we understand, and this is getting huge attention from the media, social media, and everywhere else. You probably know what I'm talking about already, but let's discuss this. This is just a few examples of. I just took one screenshot on a search engine here. This was actually Google. So now listen, just listen to this. All right. So now Trump admits he actually did lose the last presidential. It wasn't an election. It was a selection, quite obviously. Okay. But now he's actually saying, and the words he's using specifically, and he used it 3 times, is by a whisper, whisper, whisper. Okay, so he's saying, he's admitting, he's conceding loss. Trump concedes 2020 loss, could mean big legal trouble. Okay, he's not that stupid, in my opinion. Okay, by a whisker. Trump admits he lost the 2020 election to Joe Biden. It's everywhere. Okay, MAGA turns on Trump. This is the Daily Beast. MAGA turns on Trump for admitting he's an election loser. People are up in arms, and many of you have written to me about it. I wasn't going to weigh in here until I started to think about it. There is no way, okay, that Trump would admit something like this unless there is something else going on. There's no way he's that stupid. I do not. You might think he is. I do not believe that. Okay, because again, this would present legal trouble for him on multiple levels. So something else is going on. I don't know what it is. I really don't. I've been trying to figure it out because I do not believe in something like this. Is just a slip of the tongue. More so, it was on 3 occasions. 3 occasions that I know of. There may be more. And the same word by losing by a whisper. I want your take on this. What does it mean to you? Now look, please let's keep the hatred out of this. I know a lot of you love this guy and a lot of you hate this guy. Let's think, all right? Let's put this together in our own heads logically. What are your thoughts on this? This doesn't seem to me that there is any chance that this was by accident. This is being put out deliberately. Why? Why is the question. Always ask why. Even when you see a headline like that, okay, why? This doesn't have to be Greg Mannarino. Why would a veteran trader accuse the central bank of the crime of the century? All the stuff that I just read to you here, okay, you're allowed to ask why. Do that. Why? Why is Janet Yellen saying the economy remains solid on a path to a soft landing with no meaningful layoffs? We know it's all untrue. So with regard to this, people, I really am asking for your help here. And again, please keep the hatred out. Hatred and carrying on does nothing. It solves nothing. Kind of like a war. Okay, it doesn't solve a problem. Let's come to a general consensus here because we're all thinkers. We're out-of-the-box thinkers. Why is it, in your opinion, number one, that this word whisker, look, Trump admits he lost the 2020 election to Joe Biden by a whisker. He didn't say whisker once. He didn't say it twice. He said it 3 times at least, the same word. Words have power. I believe that they do. So why? Why the whisker? Why lose by a whisker, not a small margin whisker? I don't know. There's something else going on here, and I want to know what it is because I do not believe that this is by accident. I believe it was floated out here. Maybe he was told to say this. I don't know. This is where you guys and girls come in. So what do you think about this? What's your take on this? A lot of pretty big name supporters have put out a series of videos very irate over this. They can't believe this. They're turning on Trump here. But it's bigger than that. This isn't about that. There's something else going on, and I want to know what you guys and girls think because I'll be honest with you, I can't figure it out. There is no way that this is what it is at face value. I don't believe it. I just don't. So you guys and girls, let me know what you think. I'm out of here, people. I hope you got something out of this. Now, just for a moment, I'm going to ask you again. Read through this. Get it out there. Share it. I want to hear from you on these things here. Do you understand what's going on? The things that are being hidden from you, the wording, why quantitative is missing from the mainstream media, why they're not mentioning these things. We know what the Fed is doing. They're in here right now. This is a phenomenon on an epic scale. We're seeing dollar devaluation so great that it's even getting coverage by the mainstream media. They don't cover things unless they have to. They got to keep this stuff hidden from you. You understand? And that's exactly what they're doing. You can't know what the Fed is doing right now, that they're in here creating cash out of nothing, creating new money. You know how this works, the Cantillon effect, how it enriches the 1% and 2% as the rest of us are getting destroyed by this mechanism continuing. It's a destruction, people. And at least we're taking action here, you and me. We know what we're doing and we know why we're doing it. We're looking for opportunities to take advantage of everything that comes our way because we have been put in a situation that forces us to do that. You understand? And we're way smarter than they are. Way smarter than they are. We know their game. We know who the puppets are. We know who the players are. The amount of power that gives us cannot easily be measured. This guy here loves you from the heart. Please, people, comment on these things and help Greg Mannarino understand. Without anger, without flipping out, without cursing, without anything stupid. Don't make yourself look dumb. Let's get a logical discussion here as to why this is occurring. Okay, why it is that this admission happened, why he's using this word whisker. I don't know. Let me know. All right. Love you a lot. See you later. No, I'll see you in the morning. All right. We'll bring all this together and, well, people, until we meet again, please take care of yourselves and each other.